They used to tell Mira who she should be, long before they ever bothered to ask who she was. At school, she learned to laugh a little quieter, to raise her hand a little less. She learned to hide the way her eyes would light up when she talked about things she truly loved. "You're too much," they'd say. So, she became less. At home, she learned to be strong, not sensitive. "Don't cry," they told her. So she swallowed her tears until they burned the back of her throat. Everywhere she went, she collected these little pieces of advice, these tiny rules that slowly erased her own reflection. Mira became very good at pretending. She smiled when she was exhausted. She agreed when everything inside her wanted to scream no. She wore confidence like a set of borrowed clothes, never quite fitting, always a little uncomfortable. But at night, when the world finally went quiet, she would sit on her bed and wonder why her chest felt so heavy, by everyone else's standards. She was doing everything right, so why did it feel so wrong? One evening, after another long day of being everything but herself, Mira caught her reflection in the mirror. Her smile was perfect. Her eyes were empty. And in that moment, something inside her broke. She slid down to the floor and just cried. Not the soft, polite crying she had practiced for years, but the kind of raw, gut-wrenching sobs that shook her ribs and stole her breath. For the first time, she let herself feel the grief of losing herself. She mourned the girl who laughed too loudly, who spoke too passionately, who felt too deeply. The girl she had abandoned just to be accepted. The next day, nothing magical happened. The world didn't suddenly change. People didn't suddenly understand her. But Mira did one small, brief thing. She spoke honestly. Her voice trembled, and her hands shook, but the words were hers. When someone told her she was too much, she didn't shrink. She just smiled softly and said, "This is who I am." When her heart felt heavy, she let herself cry. When joy bubbled up inside her, she didn't push it down, she let it shine. Some people walked away, and yes, it hurt, but something else happened to something she hadn't expected at all. A few people stayed. They stayed not because she was trying harder to please them, but because she had finally stopped pretending, and for the first time in a very long while, Mira felt light. Not because life was suddenly easier, but because she was no longer carrying the crushing weight of being someone else. She learned that being yourself isn't about being fearless. It's about being afraid and choosing honesty anyway. It's about understanding that not everyone will love the real you, and that's okay. Because the people who are meant for you will love you for exactly who you are, not for the person you think you should be. The moment Mira chose herself, she finally came home, and that, she realized, was more than enough. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, please consider subscribing for more content like this. Take care.